Good evening. What is up, Periscope, Twitter, replay viewers on the web? Good evening, everybody. This is Michelle Hayward. And for those of you who don't know me, by day I'm a construction engineer, and by night I'm a strategic business coach. Hey, Beverly. Hey, Erica. Welcome. And I wanted to come on here, actually talk about two articles. I'm only going to do one tonight. And the first one I want to talk about is the one that Black Enterprise Magazine, Hey Hannah, put out, published the last day, maybe not even. Yeah, it came out yesterday. Called Google Opening Lab in Oakland to Grow Black Engineers. And this is my first thought. I love that they actually have recognized there is an issue. Hey, Flora, welcome back. I'm glad they've recognized there's an issue. And for those of you who missed the TechCrunch, and great, those of you that missed the interview with the Slack Director of Engineering, who's a Black man, I can't remember his name right now, he was talking about how places like Oakland get gentrified, where they push out the natives, the locals, and because the real estate goes too high, as opposed to the tech companies finding ways to employ the local residents to have jobs. So there's been some pushback in Google coming in and offering this training because you're training the students, but what about the families who have lived there and they need the jobs so they can continue to afford to live in Oakland? And I absolutely agree. I think this is one good step. There's a multitude of steps that need to be taken. So they've identified one initial issue, which is not having necessarily a large enough pool to pull from for candidates in that field. That's fine. So you're going to grow them. The biggest issue that has not been addressed is the culture within engineering organizations to value people of color. Because when they say diversity and inclusion, what they mean is diversity. There is little to no inclusion. And I can speak directly for myself and others who I've talked to in various engineering or STEM fields. They want you to go as far that is good enough for them and what they feel is good enough for you. It is not based upon your ability. It's not based upon your experience. What is this based upon? They want somebody who looks like them, who talks like them, who went to the same college as them, but that isn't you. So until the culture of STEM actually says, you know what, this is not how we're going to promote. This is not how we're going to continue to diversify. We're going to do inclusion in the industry, in this company, in this place. It's not going to change. You can come in and you can teach 100,000 people of color how to code. But until you change the culture in which you are bringing them into, you will continue to have them leave. You will continue to tell you they're not going to stay. They're not going to play the game because they're not hitting a ceiling. They're hitting effing rock. That's all they're doing. Exactly. You're not fixing the problem. You're acknowledging there is one. The biggest issue is the culture. You would not continue. What are you going to do? You're going to grow the pool. So you're 40% of women who leave engineering. Instead of being 100,000 women, you're going to make it 200,000 women. So you have more women in engineering, but you still got the same number effing leaving. That's not solving the problem. The problem is the culture. And until you resolve the issue with the effing culture, you're not doing a damn thing but wasting time and say, oh, but we went out to train people. Oh, but we went out to show them how to code. It's not our fault they're not getting the jobs. It's not our fault they aren't getting promoted. My name not Bob. My dad wasn't a senior VP. My daddy didn't go to Harvard, Yale, or Stanford. You still coming up with a reason as to why. Well, you don't know how to play tennis. You don't know how to play golf. You go to cookouts. I qualify, more than effing qualify for this position. But because you don't see me in the position, because you don't know where I come from, you can't relate to where I come from, I don't deserve the job. Exactly. It is a subsurface solution. It does not address the problem. So I will give them a kudo, but you don't get the whole effing box. You don't even get the plant that the kudo is made in. All you are doing is addressing one issue. You are still not done anything or very little to address your hiring practices, your retention practices, your inclusion or lack thereof. Until you do that, you ain't doing shit. You are wasting time. And the companies that do this are unfortunately on the consumer ends products, like a Kimberly Clark, who hire and retain a lot of women. They're killing the game. They are not touching other people. But as long as you want to continue to play the game this way, you will continue to lose ground. And those that do change, that are inclusive, guess what? They're going to slay all day. And you're going to be sitting there trying to get them. You're going to try to buy these companies, but you can't buy them because your culture is going to come in and it's going to change what was organic and inclusive. You can't buy your way into inclusion. Yes, give Oakland back. I have a friend, she's had her studio in Oakland for several years. She's been in business 27 years. She's always stayed in Oakland. She said she's one of the last two black businesses on her block. She's across the street from Lake Merritt. And she was just like, the parking has changed. Everything has changed. And it was like the rent, it's very hard for people to afford to live there. Let's partner with few that are inclusive. Everyone else, yes, exactly. Because they're going to die anyway. They're going to lose the market share. Their stocks are going to plummet, and the stockholders are going to want to know, what are they going to do? Why don't you sell to everybody that look like you? That's the only people you hiring. Yes, it is not only happening in the Bay, it is happening in Pittsburgh, Chicago. I know it's coming to Detroit. It is happening. Columbia, South Carolina. Yes, Harlem for sure. Columbia, South Carolina. They decided they were going to build all the suburbs out. Well, now they took the projects, because our projects look nice, they say, compared to the city ones, right? Our projects look nice. They are renting out what used to be projects for like $1,200 a month in rent. And people are like, $1,200? And people renting them out. I'm like, how you do that in Columbia, South Carolina? Like, for real? They're like, yep. And they're still doing it. It's like, why? I have a friend, her dad will not sell his land. He will not sell his house, nothing. And they're building up around him. He refuses to sell. And he raised his family there. Why the hell he need to sell? It is ridiculous. So, and they move black folks. Yes, it is not getting better. They're just pushing us out to where they want to be. And we really, really need to hold on, and we need to fight back. And part of fighting back is saying, oh, that's cute. That's real cute. Oh my God. If social media lost us, period, just a buying power, they'd be cray. You know what? Facebook, China would be upset, and Mexico, because a lot of the stuff we buy comes from there. What are they gonna do? So you got trade that would be upset because they're not shipping as much stuff back to the U.S. It'd be a whole other ball game. So Google, thank you, but you got a lot of effing more work to do. And you've been around, what, 20 years? Yeah, bruh. You let me know what you're gonna do next month, because you ain't doing much yet. So let's sit down. Let's talk about what you're gonna do about inclusion. How you plan on bringing that to the workplace from the top down. Yes, this is damn Google. You ain't doing nothing. Like, oh, you want to we can go to Starbucks. You paying, because I don't do Starbucks. I'm not that generation, boo. So when you're Oakland, yes. Oh my God. because I got to Oakland. I'd never been to Oakland except for this year. And I'm like, this ain't what people had told me before from the 90s. People told me 4 years ago, this don't look like Oakland I know. I'm just saying, I'm from South Carolina, so maybe I was confused by the movies, because that's really, but still people I've met that's from Oakland, it still didn't look like, this don't look what they told me. Nothing whatsoever. So I'm from South Carolina. So it was like, what? So I do have some friends. They're from the Bay. One is a realtor in Oakland. And she was like, she is hardcore Oaktown every day, all day. And she is highly upset. So the next question, the next set of questions is, where are the jobs? How do we stabilize real estate prices for what's realistic for the long-term residents? Yes, this is about Google is opening a lab in Oakland to grow Black engineers, but that doesn't, how does that address the increase in real estate prices there? How does that address them not hiring any natives? That doesn't address anything that's immediate to those kids. Because at the end of the day, if their families cannot afford to stay in Oakland, they're not going to be in the program. What's the point? They're going to be in a whole other school district. What you going to do? Oh, wait, maybe that's it. They know if they start it, they're going to keep it there, so they're not going to serve the underrepresented anyway. They're not going to be there but another year or two. But since they said they're going to offer the program, guess what? The program's still going to be there, but it's just going to serve any and everybody that's not a minority. Build better. Oh, that's a whole other scope. That's a whole other scope about education. That is a whole other scope. Because I'm from South Carolina. My mom was an educator. I had school Saturday morning. Blacks must be a part of the digital. Yes, Indians are coming to U.S. and getting trained. Exactly. And they value them more than our STEM schools. Here we go. Yes. I can't even, software like programming, like learning how to, I learned how to program in the 90s in high school. We had one class. It was basic. And my mom was like, you got to take it. Your brother took it. You going to take it. I didn't like programming, but I learned 2 languages, basic and Fortran. And I knew I did not ever, basic and Fortran. I did not need to program. That was not my area of genius. But if they don't know, they may never know whether or not it's for them. So little town in South Carolina, my mother educated. I had class. We had school. I had 4 siblings. We had class Saturday mornings, right? Saturday mornings we had class. For those of you that grew up with encyclopedias, you know them dictionary sets that we had? We had two sets of dictionaries, or it's like A through K, and then elemental P through Z, right? Do y'all notice a vocabulary test at the front of that? It's green sheets, like apple green. Yeah, I remember the color. There was a vocabulary test in front of that dictionary. You want to know how I know? Guess what we were learning Saturday morning? That's why I refused to read. But my mom she said it's one thing to have a dumb child, a child that is not able to learn, but she said, but she refused to have ignorant children. So she did everything she knew to do to educate us. Yes, we had 2 sets, girl. We had 2 sets. People would come to our house, talk about, can we borrow your Q? And it wasn't just Q. It was like P and Q. Don't ask how I remember this. But people would actually come to our house because it was a really small town, 4,000 people. Our library closed at like 5 o'clock. And it wasn't open every day. And then the local colleges they were open, I think, to 8 or 7, something like that. So it was after those hours, they would come to our house. Yeah, they want to borrow. But I'm like, you can't take that home, baby, but you can come in and sit down. Tell me, you can't check it out from the library. How you going to take it from my house? And it's not like you're going to call up this cycle. Can we get another queue? It don't work like that. You paid for it by the book, but you can't just be ordering by the book, right? So it was really, really interesting growing up because my mom used to teach history and then she opened up her own daycare for over 30 years. But that's what I grew up with. So I can't fathom going into education discussion right now. We not even gonna do that. Yeah, she's very smart, man. My niece and nephew, or a granny as they call it, they run her ragged. She's like, these children right here. I said, Mom, treat them like I used to treat us. She's like, I was younger. I'm about 70. I can't keep up with these four. Y'all sit down. So it's always funny. It's always funny. But anyway, everybody, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Michelle Hayward. By day, I'm a construction engineer. By night, I'm a strategic business coach. And I was giving my thoughts on Google opening a lab in Oakland, California, and really how that is only addressing one issue and not the other issues when it comes to STEM for people of color. And that issue is inclusion and the lack thereof in the industry. So check out the replay because I got to go do some work, another 2-3 hours. Why the hell are they building it in Oakland if they... You know why? If they build it, they will come. Guess who coming? It's not even, you laugh because it hurts that much until you know this ish not right. Oh, Hannah, I forgot. I got to do, I'm like, I'll do this later on. It's another article I'm going to do tomorrow night. And I'll show it to you guys. It's on the Huffington Post. But I really want to discuss this one. It came out yesterday as well. Yes, it is disgusting. So I got this article on Huffington Post. Black women are leaning in and getting nowhere. So, you know, the book Lean In, it came out a few years ago. I read it. Thought it was a great piece of work. Sheryl Sandberg wrote it from Facebook. And it just goes through. And the best part about why this works, is the depiction of where African American women end up when it comes to race, gender, and representation in the corporate pipeline. And this is African American women here starting out. And you can damn near not even see us right here when it comes to the C-suite. So at best, we're at 3%. So it's really hard to see on here. And I can't get this graphic to open up larger right now. Let me see. Maybe it will. No, that's on buffer. So I want you guys to check that out. But the article is called Black Women Are Leaning In and Getting Nowhere. So check out this article. Some of the comments are really interesting. Somebody brought up black men, which are or men of color, which are in here, and the men of color are actually doing 3 times better than the women of color. And the women of color have a tremendous amount of college education. So the question still lies in, why the hell we down here when our graduation rates are so much higher? Yes, it is not by STEM, it is not by education, but they go from entry level to C-suite. So this is some shit. So that one tomorrow. I was like, I'm not even going to get into that tonight. I will get into it when I only have one more night left. The one more day left in the work week to go to corporate America. I'll go into it then. But not when I got 2. You know, that's too many. But just one before I got to go back in the office, right? Or back to the trailer. Slowly progressing in STEM or slowly progressing and slowly progress. What is slowly progressing? The change to the C-suite or the change in STEM? In my opinion, the change in STEM is extremely slow. I say that because if you I'm just talking about the women who leave STEM industry completely is 40%. Black women in tech. I don't follow tech as much as I do engineering. So if you just looking at hardcore engineering, I'll have to look for some tech numbers. Hardcore engineering is generally what I follow, like civil, mechanical, chemical, electrical, not so much software, computer science. I don't follow those numbers as hardcore. So I won't tell you because I don't know by tech. But by engineering overall, 40% of women are leaving. So is it getting better? You can name one woman of color as a CEO of a Fortune 500. Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. So I go out to Society of Women Engineers. They can tell you for the first 60 years, first 30, 40 years, they were the only woman. They were damn near retiring when another woman showed up. Yes, 40% leave the industry. Not leave a company, not go back. They literally leave and don't come back. I've met several through Periscope, Facebook, who have left. And they said it was the culture. They loved what they did. They loved being an engineer. But the culture would not permit them to be a woman. A culture would not permit them to bring in their personality. The culture wouldn't fucking let them dress the way they want to dress. That's how bad the culture can be in some companies. So, and some industries. So when I say I'm a civil engineer and I work in construction, I have on a polo, I wear jeans every day. I have a hard hat in my truck. I have steel-toed boots, safety glasses, all of that. That's where I'm every day. I am that woman. And most of the time, I have an engineering degree, and most of the men or half the men will not. And I still get asked effing basic questions. So I can only imagine in tech that is very similar to what I encounter in construction. It is cool, but I'm leaving. And my story for leaving is this. I fought myself from leaving because I wanted to be here when another woman, a person of color, came to support them because I know how hard this is. And I knew they may not be as strong as me. And then one day I was sitting there and I thought, well, what if they never come? What if you spend 30, 40 years here waiting for them to help them and they never get here? What have you really done? And that's when I knew I needed to do something different. I needed to do something that would bring about a change in the culture that I couldn't bring in any other way that I saw. You're welcome. And that change was leaving, because what I can do when I leave, I can teach other women and people of color how to bid projects. Because what I do while I say I'm in construction, I'm the client's agent. I see the back end side of how to bid jobs, how to build relationships, because a lot of times it's not about price. In government jobs, it's about price. But when it comes to other projects, other clients, it is about the relationship. And how do you build those relationships? How do you present yourself as an expert, as somebody who knows what the hell they're doing? And that's what we're not taught. What we're taught, our parents teach us, is you're going to go to work, you're going to do a great job, and you're going to get a promotion. And that's not what the fuck happens. You know what happens? It's the person who's in the men's room, peeing next to the guy, talking about, oh, let's go play golf. That's where the deals happen. They happen in the men's room. I can't make it to the men's room. I don't play golf. I'm allergic to grass, actually. So what do you do to build those relationships? How do you meet those decision makers? Those are the things I've learned that they don't know. And I was like, if I can teach, because you're a damn good designer and you can present yourself on paper, be published, and prove to them that you know what the hell you're doing. But now I can show you the business side of how to win that work. And I stood there, it's like, wow, I didn't realize how much I knew. And what I'm getting paid for is not for what I know, it's for what I do. And what I know is so much more. So I stood there and I said, you know what? It's time to go. And you know what people told me? Well, why would you leave a good job? And it's not about the job. It's about creating engineering firms that are inclusive of women and people of color, because they do not exist. They are not here, and they are not right now, or they are very few. So if we leave and we build our own to create inclusive places where we're respected, where I don't have to justify every effing decision, email that I send and I make, you have a better working environment. You have a place where you can generate great products and services for your clients. And it's so much better than what we have to deal with right now. So I decided to leave, and that's where I am in the next year. Next year, September is my new date for being out, to actually helping others build their engineering firms, because we got some damn good engineers, women and people of color, and the shit they have to put up with, seriously, it's ridiculous. So this is a whole other. So tomorrow, when I talk about Black women are leaning in and getting nowhere, I'm going to talk about my personal experience, some good, the good, bad, and the ugly, some things I did wrong, some things that are done wrong to me and to others that I've seen, and how we can position ourselves to be in better places. So leaning in is one thing, but sometimes you don't need to lean in. Sometimes you need to shove them other people on the other side of the table, shove their ass against the wall with that table. That's what you really need to do. That's what I wanted Lester Holt to do the other night. My Twitter is at Michelle Hayward. It's the same thing as my handle on here. Yeah, if you guys tweet, I missed a great Twitter chat today. So, but yeah, hit me up. Let me get off of here. Everybody, have a great night. Thank you so much for coming through. I will talk to you later. Is that Hannah still hanging out in here? You are quite welcome. Yep, that's Hannah. I love you too, Hannah. I might come to LA for a summit or whatever it's called. I don't think I am, but you know me. Thanks, Hannah. I'll see you later in Slack. Bye.